Stand by to flash 74 with key in both mics.
Begins with a breaking news.
Roll 74. Mics effect. Ready to 3 box.
With reports a Vallejo police officer is dead. Officers are now going home to home in a massive manhunt for a cop killer accused, suspected of also robbing a bank and leading police on a chase.
Take. Ready 21 sound with key.
Has our full focus tonight, and we're standing by for a news conference at Vallejo City Hall, expected to start any minute. While we're waiting for that, though, let's get right to KCRA.
Take it full sound. Ready 71
She's on the streets
VO.
in this neighborhood where the search is going on. Still no suspect, Janet.
Yeah, that's right, Golston, and the search has been going on for more than 4 hours now. Janet
Ready,
Street
71.
here is blocked off, and this is where the shooting went down. You can see CHP patrol officers out here guarding this entrance, but multiple agencies are out here, in fact, assisting with the search for this suspect who is accused of shooting an officer. Now, just before 2 this afternoon, Vallejo police got a call about a bank robbery. Officers say the suspect fled in his SUV, ended up in this
Ready,
neighborhood
72
where he
sound,
ran
no
on
font.
foot.
This font will stay over the
chased
VO.
that suspect and was shot in the 100 block of
Actually,
Janet
John,
Street.
let's undercut
That's
this
where the suspect's SUV
VO.
is still parked
72
at this time.
sound next.
We talked to one
We'll
neighbor who
pulse
heard the
font.
gunshots.
Roll sound, take 72. Stand by to pulse.
It don't make no
Pulse.
sense, because I know if I were there, I'd be gone.
Lose key. Ready 21 sound with, starting off camera. Take sound.
Now, officers dressed in SWAT gear have been going door to door. They do not believe the suspect has
stand by the
left
anchor
this
mics. We're doing some Q&A here, you think?
And by all accounts,
Q&A?
you can tell that just by looking at the sheer number of resources out here on this street alone, you may not be able to tell, but there are officers from American Canyon, Fairfield, and Vacaville all around this area. We also saw firefighters from Vallejo and paramedics standing by just in case. You may also be able to hear at this time the helicopter flying above us, trying to get a bird-eye view of the suspect and his whereabouts. So a lot of people out here searching for the suspect. Still no sight of him at this point. Golston, Kelly.
Take.
Janet, I want to ask you, we've seen some reports that there's possibly a second suspect. Is there any chance that 2 people have been working together on this, or are they looking for one particular person?
And take.
Yeah, and Kelly, at this point, we know that
John, ready the big right with 73 in the right,
we have not
21 in the
that
left.
Information, but a Vallejo newspaper is reporting that there were 2 suspects that were there when they robbed the bank wearing Halloween masks. But at this point, we have not confirmed that information
big left.
ourselves.
Anchor mics.
Okay, and Janet, we're going to
hold here. Take the box.
For a second here, because there's so much going on there behind you.
Ready 21 with again.
Where you are, that is where the officer was shot. That's where this whole thing started.
Take it full. Okay, now ready the big right.
Yeah, that's right, Golston. Janet Street again. You're looking at
opposite,
the street that all this happened unfolded this afternoon.
Roll 73.
And they got
take effect.
several neighborhoods.
Go ahead and key that font over the box.
Here, blocked off in this whole area. But this is the main focus right here.
We'll hold
on
here.
Janet Street.
Yeah, and as you
keep the mics open,
Janet, we actually have another picture up. We can just see police officers canvassing
she is still hot.
the neighborhood right now. And you talked about seeing some SWAT or officers dressed up in SWAT gear. And have you continued to see that?
Yeah, you may not be able to see right now because it's dark, but there is a SWAT team. It's a regional SWAT team that is going door to door, doing that search. They are armed. They are dressed just in case that the suspect fires back. And as I mentioned, this is happening on Janet Street. There is a specific location, specific address.
Stamani got a light on at all?
We heard reports that they are focusing and honing in on, but we don't have confirmation if that's where the suspect is. They have been looking at that particular house since this afternoon, but still no word on the suspect, and they are still searching, so he may not be there. Now, some neighbors did tell us that they saw the suspect trying to enter into one of the homes, and we did talk to that neighbor who said that his mother had a close encounter with the suspect, but she was not injured in any of this incident that went down this afternoon.
Janet, we're looking at some aerial views. Describe kind of where you are in Vallejo. It looks very residential. Are there any businesses nearby, or is this like right dab in the middle of a bunch of
Ready
homes?
21 full width. Come on, pan the camera off.
This is strictly just a neighborhood. There are no businesses nearby, so that's not being affected. And it's also not by any busy intersection or freeway, so traffic is not being affected at this point. It's just is basically, you know, you just see a lot of
something.
homes out here. And as I mentioned before, at 5 o'clock,
or not,
none of the neighbors have been asked to evacuate the area.
Yeah, there
you
go.
Point, if anyone does live in one of the homes that is blocked off, like here on Janet Street, police will not let them in if it's too close to where they are searching, but that has not happened yet. People have, for the most part, went back into their homes. There was just a big group standing outside and watching and curious to see what happened. None of them had seen the suspect themselves, but they were just waiting to see if officers would arrest this man, but that hasn't happened yet, and the crowd that was standing out here is now gone, and they're back inside their house, so no evacuation.
You want to go to Monty next?
I know, we continue to watch some of this video as you explain the scene to us, and I know we have some other pictures of
Ready
police
74
going through and actually knocking down some fences, trying to
I don't have
get
that.
to where they
what is he
think
talking
the
about?
Murder suspect is, the suspected murder suspect.
What is he talking about?
And
he's calling for video. I don't know what it is.
Were neighbors out there in the area shaking?
Well, he just called for video. I don't know what it is.
Talked to, but obviously this isn't something that
we're gonna go to Damani
every day anywhere.
Okay.
You know, in Vallejo, the neighbors
Ready
here in
22 under the font next. We'll go straight to Damani, no box.
This is not something that is new to them. You know, they've had
stand by to hot punch 74 in the right box, John.
Cases before, so they are not shaken by it. They're just hoping
actually
that
cursor
this man
down, make it
is
71.
And that this whole thing is resolved. And so
roll 71.
You know, they're kind of just
take it in the right box.
Patiently waiting by to see what happens. But as I mentioned, they are back inside their home, so you know they're calling it a night. They were standing out here in the cold for a long enough, you know, several hours, and so you know. They're back. I think they're just tuning in, watching to see what happens on the media outlets for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay, again, ready 22
Jen,
with.
As we continue to look at these pictures, just to remind people, if they're just joining us, around 1:30 today, there was a robbery at a Bank of America.
Are we done here?
And in the robbery,
ready 71 VO full, no font.
Police chased him to this neighborhood where Janet is right now.
Okay, ready the big left. Make it 2 and 22.
And that where is
go to
where
Damani next.
Police officer was shot. We are
Pulse
hearing reports
once,
now
actually.
From our partner KTVU that officer has died. We have not gotten any official response yet from the police department. We're waiting to hear from the police department and the city of Vallejo. As you look at these pictures here, this is the aftermath, and the search for a suspect, possibly two suspects, continues tonight.
KCRA 3's Damani Lewis is live for us at Vallejo City Hall. We're standing by for a news conference. Damani, as you wait, what are you hearing and what's the mood like there?
Yeah. Take.
Well, the atmosphere is very quiet.
Okay, ready to the big right. Let's go 22 and 73.
He will be holding a news conference here, hopefully within the next couple of minutes, to address the robbery of the bank, as well as that officer
roll
being
73.
Shot. Right now,
take effect.
We're just standing by, waiting for this news conference
stand by,
to start.
Mics.
And of course, when it does, we will bring it to you live right here on KCRA 3. For now, we're live in Vallejo. Damani Lewis, KCRA 3 reports.
Yeah, I guess, Damani, at this point, you're not getting a lot out of those folks right now, or
can Janet pan off so we have her camera to go to?
You know, right now there aren't any police officials here on scene. I'm assuming that all of them will walk in together to make the announcement.
Stand by to hot punch
exactly
21 in the right box.
Outline what happened in this bank robbery shooting. But right now, a lot of people from the community, several people.
Okay, stand by sound.
With one man who was a taxi cab driver who said he's here just to find out more about the street closures and where police are going to be for the rest of the night. That is why he's here, and just a number of people that are here just wanting to look for some answers into all of what's happened today. Galston.
Yeah, obviously, because there's at least one, possibly two suspects out there
on
the streets of Vallejo, so it's understandable why
video ran out there
would be concerned. We're also
ready
hearing
22
from our news
with
partner KTVU. They're in the Bay Area. That,
cursor up the video once, actually twice.
Wore Halloween masks during the commission of that robbery at the Bank
next
of America.
Box big right,
that was,
22 and
Springs
71
Road in Vallejo. Again, that was at 1:30 this afternoon.
Janet's live shot still hot.
Got away. The chase happened, and the chase wound up in this residential area you see here live. The police tape is up. That's because beyond that tape is where a police officer was shot. We are hearing from other news outlets, including our news partner KTVU, that officer has died as a result of a shootout with one of the
what are we doing here?
As we wait for that news conference, we're going to continue to stay on top of this.
Easier said than done. I don't have that set. Drop the bump. Ready camera 2.
Take a live look at Jana Street out there in
float everything out,
where a police officer has been shot, and unconfirmed reports that the police officer has died. We have some
cursor down the airspeed once. Ready 2.
Stay on top of this for you
and
in the meantime.
Take 2.
New at 6.
Stand by to flash the big right. Stand by 71. Roll. Both mics. Effect. Stand by to wipe 24 on the left.
Citrus Heights Strip Mall, quickly engulfing several stores. You can see from these exclusive pictures from Live Copter 3 HD tonight, flames shooting out of the roof of a Tuesday morning store on Sunrise Boulevard, just north of Greenback.
Need their lights.
Flames also seen coming out of the roof of a salon.
Need Rich lit.
Next door.
We'll
Rich is not lit.
3 HD in a minute to show you more pictures, but first, KCRA3's Rich
Wipe.
Rivera is live on the ground.
Ready 24 with.
This. What's the situation now, Rich?
Hold here for a moment.
Oh yeah, quite a crowd out here right now.
Take it full.
And across the street we see Tuesday morning.
Okay, VO 73
right
next.
Is the salon, and over on the other side is a Rite Aid store. But the Rite Aid store, there's a sufficient
roll 73.
That is keeping the fire
Tag.
from spreading. Now.
Key.
We've got about 70 firefighters on this 3-alarm fire. It is an intense scene. We've got traffic going on southbound.
John, swap the next spot to B. We'll leave A over here. 71 sound with B next.
Scott Cochran with Sacramento Metro talked about putting out the fight.
Ready 74 sound, sorry. Roll, sound 674.
With as much roof collapse that we've had, the roofs
24
are built
with
to
next.
to have water shed off of them. Now all that's in on top of the merchandise.
Loose key.
So we really struggle to get to the seat of the fire.
And take 24 sound. You got the wrong kind of box here. Can't use that.
They're trying to get
Anchors the voice over here.
The roof is completely collapsed. So right now it's kind of a chimney effect, and they're trying to put the fire
I can't
out.
use the
They
big
say
right
it
in
may
this
take
situation.
2 or 3 hours still.
Set a wipe to
extinguish
red.
this fire,
Stand by the
which
anchor
is still
mics.
burning hotly. You can still see
And skip
flames
through
coming
gold.
over the top of the roof, and as well on the bottom floor as well too. So the firewall is holding.
Okay, I can't use the box you put in there.
In that direction, and there's a separation from the other stores over in the Sunrise Marketplace. So
Mike's up,
right
thank
now,
you.
They're still
We'll hold
looking at
here.
2 or 3 hours away from now, and it'll be
just holding these
a
live
while
pictures,
before the
eventually
fire
wiping
is
to red.
completely contained and extinguished. Putting live in Sacramento, Rich Ibarra, KCRA 3 reports.
Rich, you're right there on the ground. Do you get the sense that this is, getting under control? Because we see these little flare-ups here and there, and it seems like this thing just keeps on going now for the past hour.
Well, these flare-ups are continuing even now. You would think almost all of it is burned away, but that's not the case. It continues to burn both on the bottom and as well as in the walls. We've got
ready 64 with the key.
As well as some of the roofing that is falling to the ground, and that
keep sound up, take 64.
So there are flare-ups continuing.
All right, Rich,
go and set a wipe to red full next.
Go back up into Live Copter 3 HD here. Just
let him ad-lib over this.
Chemicals in that Salon Academy adjacent to this Tuesday
morning.
Morning.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you. Stand by to wipe to red
it
full.
Has all of those home furnishings that they sell, so a lot of combustible material there. We'll get more pictures from the ground and the air. First of all, to give you an idea of where we're talking about here in Citrus Heights.
Preset 3 next, straight to Mark. Straight to you, Mark.
Sunrise Boulevard, a busy commercial corridor for that part of Citrus Heights. Lots of stores, strip shopping centers, and you can see here we're talking about between Greenback Lane right there at the intersection there, and we can tell you
Preset
that
3 standby marks, Mike.
On Sunrise from Greenback still closed at this hour to allow a safety perimeter for fire crews to get in there and try and knock this fire down as quickly as possible.
And of course, it's coming right during rush hour. We've been following this, as I mentioned, for a little over an hour. And Mark finally has got an interesting perspective of
Ready TV 1 full. Really then we'll go back to Copter.
And it evolved too. Let me show you the
Ready
perspective
TV
we've been
1
looking
full.
at from our Rancho Cordova sky cam. We noticed
take.
this just after 4 o'clock. And
back to 3, then 64 with. As soon as camera 3 is clear, 3 will go to the digital center.
Thick that column of smoke is and how it's going straight up, an indication of just how hot
and John, you
it
can
is.
put 64 into aux 8.
Is a time lapse, so as we put this into motion, you'll notice how it changes. You'll see how the smoke goes from that thick black to a slightly more gray, like right in here, but it's still very hot, the column of smoke going straight up. But as the firefighters get more water on it, the smoke becomes grayer, becomes thinner, and you'll also notice that the smoke starts to lay flatter to the ground, an indication that it's not as hot. Always like that interesting perspective. That only
John, we're at
happens about
64 and aux
45 minutes,
7,
you can see how the column of smoke did change rather rapidly as the firefighters got a handle on that.
And ready
Mark,
64 full.
And let's go
Sorry, take.
back out to Live Copter 3 HD.
Yeah, Ed Georges has been in the
sound up from Copter.
And Ed, as we look at this, you mentioned
something
earlier
talking
that
here.
you haven't seen a fire this big in quite some time, right?
That's correct.
Okay, anchors will toss ED next. We'll just do a voiceover dissolve to 3.
Ago,